Hi, this is Eric Colburn, and in this professional land surveyor vlog, I'd like to talk about talk at least of the merger of ACSM with NSPS. This was something that was brought back into my mind, into my attention again through an email that I received the other day, and I was curious as to maybe there was more information about this online that I could not find before, because frankly, in looking at the American Congress of Surveying and Mapping, ACSM site, and looking at the National Society of Professional Surveyors and NSPS's site, I didn't find any really understandable responses as to what exactly happened to ACSM. And in some conversations I've had with a few people that at least know more than I know about it, I haven't gotten very many clear-cut answers as to exactly what's going on with ACSM, but I do know that they've been working towards some sort of a merger, and there have been some questions as to, I think initially, maybe that has gone by the wayside now, but initially there were some questions about what the name should be, whether we should keep but whether the organization that continues should keep the ACSM name, or whether ACSM should be dissolved, disappear completely, and just fall under the roof of NSPS. So I looked at the American Congress of Surveying and Mapping's website, and I didn't find really any information explaining what's going on, so which I find rather a little bit concerning. But what I did find was they had a document called the Agreement and Plan of Merger. This is obviously a, I don't know if you can see it, kind of whited out there, but this is a draft agreement, I have to imagine, because none of the final details like dates and whatnot are filled in. So I'm certainly not going to read the whole thing, but you can find, there'll be a link in the show notes to this and the video notes, so you can download or print out rather your own copy or read it online. But a lot of a little bit of legalese in this, enough to make it not exactly clear as to what they're trying to say here. References some other things that you probably have to have a little more background on this to understand. But it does say, as far as the merger goes, as a result of the merger, this is proposed, obviously, as a result of the merger, the separate corporation existence of ACSM shall cease, and NSPS shall continue as the surviving corporation of the merger. So that would seem fairly clear-cut, and I think we all have, I'm hoping that we all have an opinion on how the dissolution of ACSM should be handled, but I'm curious what your thoughts are. But then later, under a paragraph called the effect of the merger, says at the effective time of the merger, the separate existence of ACSM shall cease, and in accordance with the terms of this agreement, the surviving corporation shall possess all the property, real, personal, and mixed, in franchises of each of the constituent corporations. And here's I think the interesting part: in all debts due on whatever account to either of them. And then a couple of sentences later says, the surviving corporation shall thenceforth be responsible for all liabilities and obligations of each of the constituent corporations. Well, I think it's pretty obvious that NSPS should be held responsible and liable for their expenses, as they have been all along. But what exact expenses and liabilities is NSPS taking on from the dissolution of ACSM? And just later on in this, it says rights and liabilities of surviving corporation at and after the effective time NSPS as the surviving corporation shall succeed to and possess without further act or deed. And there's a laundry list of things that NSPS will end up with once they take over ACSM. Excuse me, coffee time. The elixir of life. So item B is all, and trust me, you should read this, but item B is all debts due to either ACSM or NSPS on whatever account, like was mentioned before. Exactly what are these debts? I'd like to see that spelled out a little more clearly so that we could understand, what each of these societies or groups is doing here. Further down it says under subsection E, all rights of creditors and all liens upon any property of either ACSM or NSPS. What liens are there? And what creditors are there out there? And then number 8 is identification. Indemnification. NSPS shall indemnify and hold harmless the officers and directors of ACSM and NSPS against all such debts, liabilities, and duties, and against all claims and demands arising out of the merger. An indemnification? I'm not going to read a lot more of any more of this. I want you to go to the link that I'll put in the video notes and read them yourselves. But I've been asked recently what I am doing, and I'll be honest with you, I am not gotten a clear answer as to why ACSM got into the troubles that it got into now. I mean, obviously there was some sort of fiscal issue. I wouldn't call it mismanagement, but something happened where they got into they didn't manage their finances properly. And so I find it very hard to support them because I don't know what's happening and I don't want to throw good money after bad. And NSPS, I think, is the same way. Just because I don't know what's going on, I'm reluctant to pay any due to an organization that I don't feel either one of them is being very clear as to what is happening right now with ACSM, what they're proposing. I see a lot of jockeying and a lot of everybody trying to get the positive spin on their side of the story. But I'll be honest with you, there needs to be more communication on this matter. I think it's so important to us as a group, as an industry. And I know I've talked to a few surveyors, and they're just as confused as me. They don't know what's going on. So what's going on? And we're at where we're at. So where do we move on from here? What's the best approach? I'm not sure that this thing is the best approach. I'm not sure why NSPS should indemnify and take on debts. Now, granted, this is a draft copy, and perhaps it's one-sided, a wish list, if you will. But if you're in the know, let us know. Let's put out some facts out there. Let's try to take, obviously ACSM appears to be going under. So let's take the best of what that organization has to offer our industry and let's build on it. But let's not ignore realities either. So if you have thoughts on the merger of ACSM and NSPS or whatever's going on with them, leave a comment below. And I invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you get a chance, please visit my site, ericcolburn.com, and there are more land surveying resources there, or you can contact me or visit my Work With Me page. And I'd really like to hear your comments on what's going on with ACSM and the possible merger with NSPS. Thank you. Work smart and be brilliant.